everyone. Listen, we are talking about my favorite topic today, right? The topic today is the power of exceptional service. I actually had a seminar on this topic before, and I find that it's a really interesting topic because a lot of companies somewhat lack when it comes to exceptional service. Because exceptional service is not just a word, right? So let's go by saying what is an exceptional service, right? So for me, I would say an exceptional service is basically going beyond what is called a duty. So as I say, not only going beyond, but also doing more what is expected of you, right? So how do you do that? You ask yourself, how do you do that? If somebody called the front desk and asks you for a particular cup of tea, right? The extra mile of how to go forward with that would be, hey, they may not have the brand that they're asking for, but I would go above and beyond by calling that department and ask, first of all, ask if they have that tea, and if they do not have that tea, what other tea can they have, right, that they do have? And if the client say they're not interested in any other tea, and if it's allowed, you could even go further and ask a different department. Who knows? Somebody might have just a personal tea that is the brand that the client is asking for. So that's going above and beyond. Further into the video, I will share my story on what I call exceptional service. How did I apply it in my life when I once worked in a hotel? So let's continue. Why does exceptional service matters? Exceptional service matters because it is the heartbeat. Notice I put a little heart next to my presentation. It's the heartbeat of your company. That's what keeps it going, right? It's just like you standing up as a human being. You need your heart to be able to be pumping blood. And while you have this heart, it's other things that is working to keep it going, right? So it's the heartbeat of the company. So you are important. So it matters because it also builds trust. Notice I also have a little happy face. What it does, it keeps a smile on the client face, the customer face. When customer trusts the company, what happens? They come back to that company. Over and over and over, it creates loyalty. So when it comes to building trust, it goes back to exceptional service. You're going above and beyond, the client remembering, that customer remembering how you went above and beyond. I'm sure you could actually give me a story, what exceptional service experience that you once had. And I'm sure you could also give me a story when you had a bad experience. A lot of times, bad experience is shared 100 times more than good experience. But what we're trying to encourage is actually showing more of the good experience or exceptional experience rather than the bad ones. So, moving right along, right? I want to actually give you 4 keys that I know that is proven that shows exceptional service, right? I would say definitely be present, right? Be present and attentive. When you are present, it shows that the client that you care. Like I told people that you give a damn, right? So being attentive is actually, you're showing a little bit more care, showing a little bit more detail into the service, going the extra mile, like we said earlier. So, and another one is personalizing the experience. See, the thing is, you have to be able to empathize with the client. You have to be able to empathize, sympathize with the client, so you could be able to give them that personalized experience that every customer, every client requests of you, right? And that's how you make a memorable experience. A lot of times they even remember your name when you show that exceptional service. I'm sure you could tell me a story about that as well. So, with that being said, we have also solving the problem with positivity. A lot of time, we deal with negative, you have an irate client comes before you, the first thing is sometimes you have a defense, right? But always remember, it's never you. You are never the problem. Every time a client goes through something, you are never the problem. Remember that. So once you remember that and you stay positive and you focus on exceptional services, I guarantee you that the client will come back. You will build that loyal clients. Because take yourself out of the equation and focus on solving the problem positively for that client or the customer, right? So the fourth key tip I would give is follow up and show appreciation. Follow up. If you know another manager, let's say we talked about the tea earlier, right? A brand of the tea earlier, right? So if you gave that assignment to a manager because you could move or whatever reason, right? You have to follow with that manager or whoever you gave the task to make sure they follow through, right? And show appreciation to the client or the customer, because when you look at it, we need the customer, we need the client. That's how you get paid. That's how the company get paid. That's how everybody get paid, right? So show that appreciation. One thing for sure, people love when someone appreciates them. People love to see that the agent or whoever is giving the service is showing the appreciation because they have choices. They don't have to be at that particular hotel. They don't have to be at that particular company. It's so much different choices. But you chose me. So I'm going to make sure you feel my presence. I'm going to make sure I stay positive. I'm going to make sure I solve your problem. So let's focus on following up and also show appreciation to your customer or client, right? So I want to go ahead and give you a real life experience, which is my story, right? I want to first I remember I used to work at one of the biggest hotels, right? And it was a bride. She got married, I think on a Sunday, and she left her dress in one of the boardrooms. However, there was, the ballroom was already closed because actually she got married on Saturday. Correction, she got married on a Saturday, and Sunday she was leaving, but it was a weekend, so everything was closed because it was slow that day. So when the ballroom was closed and she came to the front desk, and I was the person on that day, and she's like, I forgot my dress in the boardroom. Also, one of my colleagues was there, and I think I stepped away to make another correction. I stepped away, and she was speaking to my colleague. And my colleague had a negative attitude towards the situation because the boardroom was closed. And he's like, you know what? It is what it is. The boardroom is closed. I cannot help you. Nobody's here to open the boardroom. Now, you would think, you'd be like, why didn't he go further to help her? She left her wedding gown, right? But right when I came back to the desk, I see she was a little bit irate that my colleague wasn't showing attentiveness and actually showing that he actually cared. I took over and I spoke to the client and I heard what was her discourse. Once I heard what was her discourse, I tried to open up the boardroom myself. And when I couldn't open up the boardroom myself with the keys that I had, I now went further and I asked a manager. That manager didn't have the key as well. So we had to now go further and ask the director. And we have to call the director. The director had to let us into his office to get the master key to open the door. So when we was able to open the door to get the bride wedding dress, she was very, very grateful. She asked me for my name. I gave her my name, and I guarantee you, she remembered my name because I went the extra mile to make sure she got her wedding gown, which was a special day for her. I congratulated her on her wedding day, and I told her, I do apologize for my colleague not being a little bit more attentive. However, the problem is solved. You got your dress. Make sure you have a safe flight. So it was a really good, memorable story. I even remember that story because I remember how irate I would have been because I put myself in her shoe, and I was able to say, you know what? I'm going to empathize with this young lady because if it was me, it's my special day, I would want someone to do whatever they have to do. If you have to pry the door open to open up that boardroom to give me my special dress, I would want you to do that. So I was glad I was able to show that exceptional service. So this is the above and beyond that I talk about. Is notice I spoke to a manager, she didn't have the keys. I didn't leave it at that. No way. I went further and I asked the director, and even the fact that he wasn't there, I was able to still get the keys by him giving us permission to go in his office to get the key and replace the keys back in his office. But with that being said, exceptional service isn't a policy. Don't focus on just the policy. Policy is important because policy is a guideline. It's not there to keep you from giving services to the customer. It's a guideline to make sure everything is in order, right? So with that being said, it's a mindset. Exceptional service is a mindset. So make sure to have a mindset of exceptional service, okay? Remember, people don't remember what you said or did, but people remember how you made them feel. Remember to make someone feel special today and appreciated. Thank you for watching. If you like the story that I told and also talking about exceptional service, don't forget to subscribe. Press the like button. Thank you for watching once again. I'll see you in the next video.